Hey guys, no video for our crime and emergency services in Japan playlist. Some of you might have seen some videos on that playlist already of some accidents in Japan, usually very minor ones, and usually come along with an explanation about how in Japan you have to report all accidents that happen on the road, and that it leads to enormous amounts of faffing and paperwork and faffing and more paperwork and some more faffing and some more and more faffing. So fortunately, until now, all those stories have been anecdotal. They've all been things that we've seen and we've videoed and showed you and said, check this out, including this one. This one that you're looking at now was actually sitting in a file waiting to be made into a video to show you another example of a car accident where it doesn't appear to be any damage. There probably is some, but it's so minor that we can't even see it. And yet the police are there with the magic cones and they're directing traffic and taking measurements and making reports and faffing. So this is what we see all the time, just tiny little incidents where there's a lot of faffing going on. So fortunately, fortunately, we've never actually been involved in any of these problems ourselves. So I've never had an accident in Japan and never damaged a car in Japan, so have never had this problem personally, firsthand. It's all been anecdotal and rather amusing. So until about, how long ago was it? About 4 or 5 weeks ago. About 4 or 5 weeks ago, I was visiting a friend in a neighbouring town and parked the car across the street, or down the road and across the street from where he lives. And as you can see here, and the silver car is the one that I was driving, and I'd parked it there and probably go visit this guy a couple of times a week. We do a bit of business together and a few things together, so I see him a couple of times a week, and usually on the same days. That car, the white car in front, is there 5 days a week. She parks there all the time. Occasionally I've spoken to her because she's been leaving as I've arrived, or we've both been leaving at the same time or something like that. So I sort of know where she is. She works at a business nearby, and okay, so recently I was visiting my friend and we're sitting there having a chat, and there's a, excuse me, sumimasen, ojimashimasu, sumimasen, and yes, and she says, oh, where's the guy that owns the silver car? And all in Japanese, of course. Where's the guy that owns the silver car? Hi, and sort of with an ominous feeling. And she said, oh, I'm sorry, I've reversed into your car. And I said, all right, I'll come with you and have a look. And there's this sinking feeling, because fully aware of how much faffing's involved with these things, and how it just, you know, the repairs itself, repairing a car itself is small compared with the rest of the faffing that's involved. It was like, oh, here we go, get on the ride. And so time to increase the patience level. Whenever you come across situations like this in Japan, you know it's going to be a hassle. You've got to increase your patience level. And because she's all apologetic, but she's smiling, because that's what Japanese people do when they're in stressful situations. So we walk out together, and she's saying to me, oh, I'm really, really sorry. I'm really, really tired. I wasn't paying attention. I'm really, really tired. And as you could see from that picture, it's pretty hard not to see the silver car when you're getting in the white car, and particularly how it's often there. And then when you're reversing, again, pretty hard not to see it, but she just obviously wasn't paying enough attention. And she got the corner of the back left-hand corner of her car against the right corner of the silver car. So have a look at the silver car, and the bumper has just sort of popped off a little bit. It's just popped off a little bit, and there's a couple of little scratches on it. So I applied a little bit of pressure with the knee against the corner of the bumper, and it clipped back onto the clip that it had popped off of. So, and then gave it a bit of a shake, and well, that seems okay, no problem. And then got a wet wipe out of the car and went to the part where the scratches were, and went wipe, rub, and ended up with it looking like this, which was virtually zero, right? Now this car is actually rented. We rented. A friend of ours has a car repair shop and also buys and sells a few cars, and so years ago started renting this car from him. And it's a pretty good deal for us, because he pays the shark end, the road insurance, and he does the shark end repair thing every 2 years. He checks the car over and does all the servicing on it and everything else, and anything breaks he fixes it, he pays the insurance and he does everything. So it's not our car, it's his car, but a couple of scratches like that, and it's an older car, you know, this car, it's an older car, it's an old Honda, and it's got 150,000 on the 150,000 kilometers on it, which by Japanese standards is, you know, they would have thrown it away long ago, which is why everyone's happy. We're happy to rent the car from him because he pays for everything, and he's really happy because nobody else would want it because it's got so many Ks on it. So a couple of scratches on the front bumper is nothing, right? So rub. No, look, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I then have a look at her car, and she's, unfortunately for her, she sort of got it in a bad position, and it's actually done a little bit of damage to her car. So it's pushed the bumper in and done a little bit of damage. So I had a look at that. That's no good. So anyway, no problem. I'm fine. She's saying, really? Yes. Don't worry about it. And she said, oh, okay, thank you very much. I'm very sorry. And I escaped back to my friend's place. And it was like, yay! And I walked back in thinking, yes, got out of that really well, because, you know, when I was expecting a huge amount of faffing and a whole heap of hassle, and came back with, maybe that's the end of it. And it looks like that's the end of it. And assuming that she was just going to go and sort out her bumper, whatever damage had to be, whatever repair had to be done there. So some of you who live in Japan will already be going, oh, it can't be that easy. And it was sort of in the back of my mind as well, surely it can't be this easy. So anyway, didn't hear any more of it. That was really good. And then about a week later, went back to visit the friend again, and while I'm there, sumimasen, ojimashimasu, and it's her. Oh, okay, here we go, round two. And she's standing at the door with a parcel in her hand. This parcel. And, oh, sumimasen, I'm really sorry about that accident. Really sorry. And some of you might remember we've made videos about this before. That's not an unusual thing either after an accident. Usually the person who is responsible for the accident will give a present to the person who was inconvenienced by the accident. That's quite common as well. So okay, nothing surprising about that. And I'm saying, the conversation goes how it's supposed to go. She says, this is for you, for your inconvenience. I'm saying, no, there was no problem at all, please, I can't accept it. She's saying, no, please. I'm saying, no, it's fine. That's what you're supposed to do. And then took it home, found out it's a box of senbei, and that's fabulous. So, okay, all right. So we got it. So, but she hands it to me. I'm saying, no. She's saying, no, please. I'm saying, no, it's no problem at all. And she's saying, I'm really sorry for the inconvenience. I'm saying, no, there's no inconvenience. There's no inconvenience at all. It's fine. And then she says, your car isn't badly damaged, but mine is. So I'm going to have to go to the insurance company, and the insurance company want to talk to you. Right. Here we go. We're back on the ride again. Okay, here we go. The insurance company want to talk to me. Wasn't even in the car when she hit it. So I said to her, look, I'm really sorry. I'm not actually the owner of the car. I said, I'll get the details. So I came out to the car and got the owner's name and his business name and his address and his phone number and everything, and said to her, look, here's the owner of the car. I just rent the car. Here's the owner of the car. So please contact him, and please have your insurance company contact him, and you know, he'll sort it out with you. And then damn it. So off she went. Okay, bye. And she went away. Shit. So okay. So next morning, first thing, went to my friend, the car guy, the guy that owns the car, went straight to his business and called him on the way. Are you there yet? Okay, I'm on my way. Turned up there and said to him, look, can you come and look at this? And brought him outside and said, look at this. And he stood there and looked at it and went, look at what? Right? He must have assumed it was old or something. And I said, these marks here. I said, this lady reversed into the car and left these marks here. And I told him, you know, the bumper came off a bit and I pushed it back on, gave it a clean, this is it. And I said, no problem, right? Nah, it doesn't matter. He said, doesn't matter. And the other side's worse, he said, which it is. And no problem. And I said to him, so she'll probably call you, or the insurance company? Yeah. He said, yeah, the insurance company will probably call. No problem. So, all right. And this is what it's like in Japan. This is what it's like. You always think you've finished with it. You always think you've done it. It's over, right? And then there's another level of faffing, you know, and another level of faffing. So, okay, it's all finished. I'm out of it. I'm clear. So, okay, right. Thanks very much. I said to him, see you later. Off I went. And then about a week later, I go visit my friend about 2 or 3 times a week. So about a week later, I'm back at his place again. And sure enough, oh no, first of all, he said to me, she's been here. And I said, who? And he said, the lady that owns that car came here looking for you. And which was odd, because if my car's not parked there, it means I'm not there. It's a good chance they do this. We've made videos, we've talked about this on videos before, how in Japan people don't talk directly to the person they should be talking to. You know, in a lot of countries will say, look, that, you know, if that was Australia or America or Germany or England and someone came looking for someone else, no, he's not here, I'm sorry, and that'd be the end of it, wouldn't it? You know, you wouldn't get into talking about their business, would you? But here it's really common, and we've talked about this on videos before. And so she's hung out, she's stood there and talked to him for a long time apparently, about the car and about the damage and about her car's damage and the insurance company and the guy who owns it and the insurance and all the stuff that is total waste of time talking to my friend about it. But because if he is from another country, he'd probably say, hey look, nothing to do with me, you know, I don't want to hear about it, go and talk to the guy who's driving the car. But he's Japanese, so he's really polite and patient. So he stood there and listened to her, and I said, how long was she here? Oh, about 20 minutes or half an hour. And then she came back the next day. So she'd already been there twice. So after I'd given her the details of the guy who owns the car, she'd already been there twice to visit my friend, right? And talk to him about it. And we get this all the time here. We've talked about this on previous videos. It's really frustrating because that hassles my friend, but he's Japanese and he's too polite to say, oh look, it's nothing to do with me, I don't want to hear about it. So he stands there and listens to her go on and on about all this nonsense about her car damage, which is, you know, let's keep it in proportion, it's pretty minor. But big, long-winded discussions about it twice. And I said, really? You got to be kidding. No. About 2 minutes later, sumasen, ojimashimash, it's her. So she's seen my car and it's come straight there. So this is her third visit there since I've given her the name of the owner of the car, right? And she, yes, and I said, you know, hello, you know, hi. And she said, oh, the insurance company want to talk to you because it's your car. And I said to her, it's not my car. I gave you the name of the owner. He's the owner of the car. Have you spoken to him? No. So she hasn't spoken to the owner of the car yet, but she's spoken to my friend twice since I gave her the details of the owner of the car, right? Reason I'm telling you all this stuff is just so that you guys, I mean, it's partly interesting for people interested in Japanese culture, but anybody who ever drives a car in Japan, this is what we've always talked about. When we've talked about hassle with car accidents, this is what we're talking about. This is the stuff. This is the faffing. So, you know, they want to talk to you because it's your car. No, it's not my car, it's his car. I gave you his details. Have you talked to him? No, I haven't. No, they want to speak to you because it's your car. She said again, anata no kuruma. I said, no, it's not my car, it's his car. Oh, they want to speak to you anyway, and they'll speak to you in English, she said. And that was really baffling, because it was like, you know, nobody in my world speaks English, you know. And they'll speak to you in English. I'm like, why did she say that? And it wasn't until later I realised, when I gave her my phone number, I gave her an English-friendly Japan card with my mobile phone number on it. And of course it's English-friendly Japan, right? So obviously she's looked at that and she must have said, oh, English is his language, and then she's told the insurance company that. And so, oh, the insurance company's going to call you and talk to you in English. And here, again, we get this in Japan all the time. What possible information could I give them that they haven't already been given? The car was parked where you could see in that photo, it's off the road. It's parked off the road, I was somewhere else. She's reversed into it. The owner of the car is someone totally different, but the insurance company want to ring me and talk to me, and you know what they'll do. I mean, Japan being Japan, they'll have a huge form there with all the information they've already been given, and they'll go through and check it all with me for some unknown reason, because it's not my car, right? But this is where we've got to. This is where we've got to so far. So this video, that's why this video is called Part A, because I was thinking about this today. I thought, I'm not going to remember all this, because you know it's not going to be over soon. You know, this is not going to be the end of it. The other thing is that all accidents are supposed to be reported to police, And I was a little bit surprised at the start that she didn't call the police about it. And I thought, well, my car was parked and it was off the road. It wasn't on a road, it wasn't on a public road. So maybe that's why she didn't. But I've got this sneaking, nagging feeling that at some stage, the police are going to get involved. Either she's going to have to call them, or the insurance company will tell her to call them, or for some reason, I imagine they might have to get involved. And if they do, we're going to have a whole new level of faffing, because they've always got their paperwork and all their forms and everything else. So that's why this part A, because you can see, you know, it's been quite a lot of faffing already, and nothing's been achieved. Her car hasn't been fixed yet, and she hasn't finished doing her insurance papers or anything else. Which is just amazing, isn't it? Because in a lot of countries, a small little piece of damage like that, and if the other driver said, no, I'm fine, no problem at all, that'd be the end of it, wouldn't it? For that driver, for the person who said, no, my car's fine, I'm out of it, no problems at all, that'd be the end of it, wouldn't it? And then the person whose car was damaged would then tell their insurance company, look, I damaged my car, I've got a quote to get it fixed, we don't have to fix the other car, that's fine. And they'd say, right, you know, get 2 quotes. They get 2 quotes, okay, go ahead and fix it. You know, in some countries, if the repairer is approved by the insurance company, you've only got to get 1 quote. You go and get the quote, give it to the insurance company, and they say go ahead and fix it, and it's fixed. It'd be fixed by now, wouldn't it? It's been 4 or 5 weeks. It'd already be fixed by now, wouldn't it? Or you wouldn't bother. There's cars being driven around in Australia with a lot more damage than that on them. A lot of people wouldn't even bother with damage like that. But you know, even if you did, a couple of weeks later, it's only a dented bumper. You know, they suck them out and they hit them with some paint, and it'll be fixed in an afternoon, wouldn't it? You know. So anyway, so the idea of this video is, first of all, if you're going to be driving in Japan, be really careful, because if you have any sort of accident at all, this is what you'll be in the middle of. This is only part A. Part B is coming, and who knows? I don't even know yet. It's like time travel or something. Don't even know what's going to be in part B yet. It's a mystery to you, it's a mystery to me, it's a mystery to all of us. You can imagine probably at least 1 discussion with the insurance company, and possibly a couple of discussions with police. Who knows? Probably the lady will visit my friend a few more times. There might be more presents involved, who knows, more faffing, definitely more faffing. That much we know, there will be more faffing involved. But this is typical, this is Japan all over. And we've talked about this with so many things, buying a house or anything else that in another country might take a couple of hours and be finished. In Japan it goes on and on and on. And no one's surprised, my friend's not surprised, she's not surprised, my wife's not surprised, nobody's surprised. This is all normal here. Everybody just goes, yeah, an accident, yeah, that'll be a lot of faffing. Actually, that first day when I walked in and told my friend, oh, she doesn't want to do anything, you know, there's nothing wrong with my car, it'll be fine, she's just going to fix hers. He looked really skeptical, and he looked and sort of worried, you know, and he knew, no, it can't be that easy. That was his face, and it doesn't sound right, that can't be that easy, and he was right. So this goes to show, you know, doesn't matter how long you live here or how much you think you know, whenever these things happen, you can always be surprised that even though you expect faffing, there's always more faffing than you expect, as will be seen in part B or part 2. Not sure, we call this part 1 or part A. See, again, time travel again, you know what this video was called and I don't. But stay tuned for the second part of this exciting story. Oh God, it's boring to be in it. It must be boring to hear about it. Sorry about that. That's life in Japan for you. The faffing continues. More faffing coming soon.